Hi, and welcome to The Bright Balloon, a podcast where I'm sharing bright ideas for your balloon business. My name is Sarah Meyer, and I'm a balloon business owner like you, and I love the creative side of what I do, but I really love the business side, which seems to be the part where most people struggle. So I'm here to help. Each week, I'm bringing you an episode full of bite-sized tips you can use to make improvements in your business. I want you to make more money, eliminate stress, and learn along with me as we grow our creative businesses together. Welcome to The Bright Balloon, presented by 17 Hats. Hello and welcome to this interview. Today I am chatting with Betty Jo, or JoJo, however you know her best, and she is the owner of Designs by JoJo's Creations, and she is located in Ohio. I am not going to lie. I was not prepared for this interview. She blew me away. There is so much advice and tips about working with a team, hiring employees, utilizing 17 Hats on a team level. She does all the things. She has tents and chairs and rentals and linens and, of course, balloons. So I was just so impressed with JoJo. She has so much community support. That's kind of what she is known for. Just really, really great connections that have allowed her to grow an incredibly successful business. So thank you to JoJo for being on this episode. I will mention this was recorded live at Balloon Boss Summit. We recorded this episode face-to-face in my hotel room. So if the sound is a little bit different than you are used to, that is why. But it was great having an in-person interview, something I definitely want to start doing more of. It's a little bit different of a feeling, but it was just such a fun time to get together with a friend to learn about her business. So let's take a quick break and head over to the U-Glue hotline for some great advice that sticks, and then get into this interview with JoJo, who is the owner of Designs by JoJo's Creations. Welcome to the U-Glue hotline, where we discuss great advice that sticks, brought to you by Pro Tapes. If you have a question or some great advice to share, click the link in the show notes to call in and leave a voicemail.
Hi, my name is Rachel DeBoard. I own It's Your Day Balloons in Redding, California. It's way up north, about 2 hours north of Sacramento. I have a tip. So I had an install for a business and they wanted an arch over their door, but it was all stucco on the outside. And as many other balloon artists know, sticking anything to stucco is pretty difficult. So I came up with a freestanding balloon arch, and I feel like maybe other people already do this, but I just thought I would share. So I take my balloon stand, which is, my knot lamp. I make sure I have a weight on it. And then I went to my local Lowe's and I got a multi-purpose wire. So it's like bendable. I think it's like a galvanized wire. Anyway, you can bend it and then it'll keep its shape. So I duct taped it to the top of my balloon stand, and then I made the shape that I wanted over the door and down, and then you have to have lineman's pliers to cut it, which you can also get at the hardware store. But anyway, I cut it and then I duct taped the ends so they weren't sharp, and it held up great. It supported the balloons over the door, and now I feel like I can use this on any stucco, anything with brick, or, sometimes even like the fireplace brick. You try to attach command hooks or duct tape and it just doesn't want to work. So this is all freestanding. I hope that helps. And thank you so much, Sarah. I love the podcast.
Pro Tapes is a leading manufacturer of specialty tape products like Pro Gaff, Pro Artist Tape, and our favorite balloon tape, U-Glue, which helps you create amazing balloon arrangements and decorations in less time. You can save 5% on U-Glue when you buy directly from Having a Party using code BRIGHT at checkout. All right, welcome to this episode. Betty Jo, give us an introduction. Tell us about your business, where you're located, and the scale, because you have what I would consider a very large company.
So we are located in Canton, Ohio. The business is Designs by JoJo's Creations, and we have a brick and mortar, and I have about 13 employees.
And you do more than balloons, right?
Yes, we do rentals of tables, chairs, linens, tents. We also do full weddings, so we do floral. We do a little bit of everything.
And how long have you been at it?
This is going to be going in my third year.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Like, Did you start from nothing, or were you doing something else that you kind of pivoted into balloons?
I was the head cheerleading coach for our local school, and I was doing our cheer banquets and our yearly cheer programs where kids come in and see. So I would decorate for that every year, and then it just started with parents asking me,
oh my gosh,
hey, can you do this for my child?
But it's not like you were like a wedding planner and then you started doing balloons.
No.
Holy cow. How? Oh my gosh.
So it kind of like forced me into resigning from cheerleading and going straight into the business.
How did you grow that big in 3 years?
I think just my community around me.
Yeah, I know. I have heard about your community, and they support you like no other.
They do.
Because 13 employees
Yes.
is a lot of employees.
Yeah.
I have an employee, maybe. I have half an employee. I have a part-time employee. So what was your first hire? I guess tell us the progression of your business, because you didn't just open your doors and have 13 employees.
No, my first was hiring actually my cheerleaders. I had one or two help me. Then I had a friend that would come in and they would help blow up balloons. And then we would do the weekend installs, and then it just kept going from there. And then eventually balloons were all over my house, and I had to move out within less than a year. And that's now I've been in my business for almost a year.
So that's the brick and mortar that you recently had a grand opening, didn't you?
Yes, in December of last year.
Okay, okay. So it took you about a year and a half to get to that point?
A little over a year, yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's
move
crazy.
Out of my house.
And then when did you start doing all the tables, chairs, and linens? Because that's like a whole other business.
We did that right away. So as soon as I started to do it, we started buying tables and chairs and tents. We knew that was the direction we were going to go. So we just started buying everything, because I've already had some of it just from having my own parties. I'm like, we would never rent. We would always just buy.
Okay.
And then I was just like storing it. So I had like the black linens and the white linens for my own parties. And then I just started buying more and more.
Oh my gosh. I am like in shock right now. Okay. So then I have seen a tour in Balloon Boss Mastermind. I saw a tour of your shop, and it's beautiful, but like the back end of it, like where your employees work, most people, I think it's just like kind of a warehouse. Yours is stunning. Like, it looks beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, what was that build out like? Because you have the washers and dryers for the linens. You have like these workstations. Everything's white and pristine. Like, how long did that process take?
My husband we actually have a construction company. So my husband had a lot of the background of what he wanted it to look like. My brother did a lot of the work, the labor inside of it, because he does home improvements in that.
Okay.
So it took my brother probably 2 months to do it, because we had nothing in the store.
Okay.
We had no walls. It was just cinder block.
So right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like you walk in and it's not retail, but like it's the customer space, or is it retail?
It is retail. They can walk in and buy balloons.
Okay.
And then we're starting to get into like gift baskets and stuff like that.
Okay.
There's always different centerpieces and displays up front where people can walk in and see. And then behind that, it becomes my office where we do the consults, and then our balloons all behind the back of the house.
Oh my gosh. So can people walk in and just like buy a helium balloon on a Tuesday? Okay. So you have to keep that fully staffed as well?
Yes.
What are your hours?
Right now we are 10 to 5 for winter hours, but typically we're 10 to 6. We do close on the weekends, because for me to pull from my staff to work the store and not have them during the weekends, it would be just too much. I would rather have weekends where everybody's out on the field.
And then in order for them to be out, what does your van situation look like? What do you have in terms of transportation?
Right now we have 2 Sprinter Mercedes vans that we can put 3 people in each van.
Okay.
So what we do is rotate our weekends. We're on a 4-week schedule at our work. So if you work the first week, let's just say it's week 1 for you, we will say A, B, and C. So work schedule A, you work Saturday, then you're going to be off the following week. You're off the Saturday, but you're going to work a Sunday. Then the 3rd week, you're working the full week. And then the 4th week, you're off the full week.
Interesting. So what does that come out to? Like 20 hours a week? Or 20,
no.
What does that mean?
No, they're working the weekends.
Gotcha.
That's the weekend.
Okay.
So if you're a full-timer, you're still working your Monday through Friday. You're 10 to 6.
Gotcha.
And then we rotate the weekends.
Gotcha. Okay, that's interesting too, because I think that is one of the downsides of looking for help. It's like, you work every weekend. This sucks. You know, like I think that is hard getting people in there.
That is what it was coming to for us too, because we wanted everybody to feel like they still had weekends and they can plan around. Now, obviously with people taking vacations and time off, everybody has filled in. I mean, they're like, oh, I'll work it. Don't worry, you can work mine later. Or it's just been very simple if we have bigger jobs and we needed everybody.
Yeah.
I haven't had any issues of nobody saying, oh, I can't do it. That's why we have 13, I guess.
Yeah.
Because so that way we do have just weekend people too.
And how many of them are full-time versus part-time?
We have about 5 full-timers, and then the rest are all part-timers.
Okay.
Because we do call in everybody when it is a wedding. So when we're doing a wedding, it's all hands on deck because we're doing the tablescapes, the linens, plates, napkins, silverware. We do it all.
So
Glassware.
you do jobs when there's no balloons?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Holy cow.
But I would say at least 60% of our jobs are balloons. Just
Okay.
balloons. Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to take your balloon business to the next level? Look no further than Having a Party Wholesale, your ultimate destination for all things balloons. At Having a Party Wholesale, they're not just a distributor, they're your partner in success. With the latest and greatest in balloon innovations, they're on the cutting edge of new products that will wow your clients. From top brands like Tuftex, Jamar, Anagram, Ellie's, Premium Conwin, and more, they've got the widest selection to fuel your creativity. Elevate your balloon business with premium quality balloons and accessories that'll make every event unforgettable. Join the successful league of professional balloon artists who shop at havingaparty.com. Interesting. Okay, and then the other thing that you said before we started recording, which I did not know, is that you use 17 Hats, which is the sponsor of the podcast, and my CRM, but I use it on a much smaller scale, right? So it's me and a virtual assistant kind of in there. You said you use it for your team and you're assigning duties within 17 Hats. So tell me everything. Tell me how this works.
So in our 17 Hats, we have 2 different users besides myself that can go in every morning and they can actually quote jobs and see what is on their calendar to do. So if I'm quoting a job, the next thing I'm going to do is tell my staff, like Erin, it's going to go straight into her calendar that she needs to send out a balloon box sample. Then the next one, it will say, okay, Kayla, you need to build this, and this is what it's going to have for her and what days that she has to bill it. But that's kind of what it does for each one of them. You can make 17 Hats do what you want it to do.
So it's putting tasks on your employees' calendars. Where are they then seeing those tasks?
So on the sidebar of 17 Hats where it says calendar, it pops up on their calendar.
But like, do they all have access to the app? Like they're able to just go in there? Okay.
They all have their own username and their own password. Like
very cool.
Mm-hmm, they use that as their email address.
Which is nice because then you can limit them because you don't necessarily want all of your employees going in and like being able to run your full client report and see all the money you've made and stuff like that. Okay.
No, they can only do like the invoices, the workflows, and the quotes. They can't see like any of my bookkeeping of any of that.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so cool. I mean, I guess, I'm not surprised it works like that. I just don't have a use for it on that scale. So it's just really interesting to hear that you do.
Yeah, it's nice to work it with that. With the work.
What other like logistics, like platform scheduling, technical stuff? Do you use anything else in addition?
Yes, so we also do, what is that called? Sky Calendar, I think it is.
Okay.
So it's a calendar that comes up, that way everybody sees it, because 17 Hats, we only allow the 3.
Okay.
So that way I don't have very many people in there messing with it because it is our counting system.
Right.
So there's a calendar that comes up on electronical and it will tell each person what they have to do, what their
and that's on like a big flat screen?
It's on a big flat screen. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So that, it's kind of like that same thing as the pictures where you can do pictures, but now they came out with the calendar.
Okay.
So that's what that one is. And then for our organizing, our inventory, we use Shorty.
What is it?
Is it Shorty? Shortly?
Okay, so how do you do that?
That one is something that you have to pay for, like a yearly app.
And it's expensive. I know which one you're talking about.
It's a lot of money. It's worth it.
Yeah?
It is so worth it.
So what does that look like? Because my inventory system is looking at my shelves and seeing what's on there.
No. So every time that something comes in or goes out, we have an iPad over there by our inventory. And they just scan the scan bar and it pulls it out. And then also when it comes in, that's Erin's job. She pulls it in and it makes it inventory. When we do our inventory once a month and make sure everything's lining up with what we have, it counts it for them.
Interesting.
You can go through each bin and say, okay, yep, I had 20 of those, 10 of these.
So it's obviously not something that was designed for balloons. You had to then put all those SKUs in there so it knows, but once you do, you're just scanning bags and putting them on the shelves? Yes. Wow, interesting.
Yep. It does take a little bit of time to set it up, but once it's done, it's amazing. And like I said, if my store would ever catch fire, I can literally take my inventory and say, this is what I had, before the fire. And they would be like, for insurance purposes.
Wow. Oh, that's interesting.
Because I have everything in there. It's just not balloons. I also have like my glasses, my linens, everything's in there as what we have a track of.
Well, and I don't think we said this in this episode, but we're recording this live from Balloon Boss Summit. And one of the classes that I'm actually interested, I don't think I'm interested in implementing it, but I'm interested to learn is the linen. Someone is teaching about draping, and I don't know the first thing about that, but like storage has to be a huge component, right? Like, how do you store these linens?
Well, we store them in a room technically right now in my home.
Okay.
I have a couple rooms that my kids are moved out, so we just put up racks and store them there.
But you wash them and fold them all and everything yourself?
We wash them and then we send them out to be dry cleaned and pressed.
Ah, interesting.
So that way they are still being clean. We just wash them in the store so that way they're not sitting for a long period of time with any
stains and stuff.
So we just want to pre-treat them before they actually go to the dry cleaners and get steamed and pressed.
Oh my gosh. I'm just like so amazed at the scale of everything and how you're so calm. I would be a mess. So when you're here, do you have lots of jobs, just business as usual back at home?
I actually been out of my store probably since July, 2-3 weeks, and we're in November. Yeah, I've been traveling for the last few months.
And
they have been running business like I've been there.
Hi, I'm Jeff from Balloon Suite. Have you ever hired a professional to help in your business and then found you have to teach them about balloon decor and what it takes to run a balloon decor business? Well, when you work with my team, you don't have to worry about that. We work with hundreds of balloon decor companies all over the world. We know exactly what decor is. We know exactly how your business works. We know about the struggles of order fulfillment and how delivery and pickups are a unique part of your business. If you would like to work with a team to grow your sales and revenue and get your digital marketing done, then Balloon Suite might be that team. And you don't have to teach us about your business. You can learn more at balloonsuite.com.
Holy cow. Okay, can I ask you some nosy questions? You don't have to say numbers, but like, I think to have a business operate like that, you probably have some very trusted, very responsible, like manager type of positions.
Yes.
What type of like pay or benefits, or how do you get someone in a role like that where you can actually be away and trust them to do it? Because I'm assuming you're not paying that person $10 an hour part-time, right? So like, what does that setup look like, and how did you get to a point where you had kind of that right-hand person?
The girl that I have in the role of, like, I would say my office manager, she was actually my assistant coach. So we worked very well together.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, so I knew her for years. And she had reached out to me looking for a job. And I'm like, you know what? I think it would be great for my office manager. So we put her in that role, and she's just killing it.
So you just were like, yes, full-time.
Well, she's only 10 to 2.
Okay.
Because she's also still a dance teacher.
Gotcha.
In the afternoons. So she's there 10 to 2 for, the 4 days a week. And it works for her, works for us. And then we bring somebody else in for the rest of the day.
Interesting. So that's not even 20 hours. That's like 16. Okay,
and
interesting.
That's what those are her hours that she wants.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, you can come more, you can stay. So there are days, like Fridays, she'll stay until 5.
And does she know, like, is she crazy good at balloons, or does she really have to know how to make that?
No, any balloons. Like, she can make like a topiary ball or a little, but for us to say, hey, can you go make a 5-foot grab and go? She wouldn't know how to do it.
Interesting. Okay, because I think a lot of times we think, myself included, that like that person that we're looking for has to be able to do everything. But as long as they can manage, that's kind of it.
Yep. And then I have another girl that she's my lead designer, I would say. And she does all of the blowing up the balloons and the installs while we're gone.
Interesting. Interesting. So does she know how to make everything? I mean, like, is she super balloon savvy, or she just takes direction
I brought her in a year ago as a part-timer, and I have never seen anybody in my life like this girl.
Okay.
She came in, and I was making a column, and it wasn't like a spiral column. It was I can't even remember what column it was, but I was shocked because she even figured out how to do the twisty. And I said, okay, I did one, and she matched me to the T her very first day. Never blowing up a balloon.
She
never
just got it.
anything.
Yeah.
She got it right away. And I'm like, do you want to work full time? And then she quit her job. And then she came last year to the big build with me.
Oh, interesting.
Because, and she wasn't even with me a month. And I was like, okay, you're going to the big build, because I felt she could learn a lot from that. And she did. And that to this day, I can give her a picture and say, match this. And she does really good.
That's amazing. And then how much of what, I guess, is she then in charge of getting stuff out of a picture or her brain and onto paper for the lesser qualified inflators or artists? Or does she kind of build everything?
In my invoices, when we put it down on 17 hats, it actually says everything that person needs.
Okay, tell me more, because this has been the egg I've been trying to crack. Like, there's got to be a workaround. Tell me. Your recipes go right into the invoice?
Yes. So it will say, like, let's just say if it's a centerpiece, it will tell them how many balloons and what size. And it does say on there for installer information. So the client will read it.
Client will see it, but they'll be like, clearly this is for office use.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that's what it is. But that way, there's no question asked. They know what it is, what they need, what colors. We just add the colors in. That's the only thing that we have to add. But it says what to inflate, because then you're done every time. It's kind of doing your SOPs right there on your invoice.
That's what I need to do. I'm going to do that this week while I'm here, because, I mean, I hate to say this, like, my business isn't huge, but I hit $250,000 in sales this year, which I'm happy with. But I do that by selling, and I'm not exaggerating, columns, arches, and grab-and-go garlands. You know, like, within those items, there's so much variety. You can sell a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't have that many recipes. You know, I'm not selling custom sculptures most of the time. So the fact that I even then have to go back and look at my recipe and count up my balloons and figure out if I have enough, just saving that one step by embedding it into 17 hats is going to be a game changer.
It's already done.
Oh, I love it so much. I feel like I just want to take everything out of your brain. I'm going for everything you have right now.
Yes.
Oh, that's so interesting. Okay, I have just recently started diversifying just a little bit. I'm a balloon purist, but I now have marquee rentals because they just go so well with balloons. You have a lot of things. If someone is looking to expand just a little, what would you recommend? Like, instead of just balloons, you do so much. What is one thing that someone can integrate into their business that wouldn't be super challenging?
Start off with backdrops.
Okay.
If I was somebody looking, I see a lot of people doing the exact same backdrops, like either the gold hoop, and to really get out there, different things you can do, add backdrops first.
Interesting.
Because those are all rentals. You're getting that money back every single time. And charge a damage waiver fee. Every single time you rent that out, charge a 10% at least, because that is going to help replace it when you need to replace it.
So, okay, tell me more about that, because I don't know what that is either. Is that something that gets reimbursed if they don't damage it?
No, they don't. It's a wear and tear damage waiver. So no matter what, you still get to keep that.
Interesting.
So we actually keep that in its own little separate little pile, you could say, little account.
Yeah.
And then when that is built up, we are going to go and replace, buy another.
So you don't have people complaining about that?
No.
Interesting.
No, because in our area, it's typical.
Okay.
Like if you're going to
I've never heard of that. Wow.
Call one of your linens places.
Yeah.
And they're going to automatically charge you a damage waiver fee.
Huh.
It's a wear and tear, no matter what you rent, chairs, anything. It's already on there.
This is incredible. How did you learn all this stuff?
By renting from other people.
Interesting.
And I'm like, well, if they can do it, I'm sure I can do it. Why not? So that is our money pit that I would say that keeps purchasing new items for us.
So what type of backdrops are you, like, talking like the spandex covers on a frame, or like what type of backdrops are you talking?
So we have the chair walls. Ours are the wood walls.
Oh, okay.
We also have the greenery backswood wall. We have shimmer walls. We have flower walls. We have all the walls you can honestly think of that people would put balloons on. And that's what we started with first. Then, like the marquee lights, the numbers and the letters, that's something else. Try to think of what you can sell or rent to go around your balloons.
Yeah.
To expand that as your inventory before you go into, it's like, oh, I'm going to go do, chairs and tables and linens.
Right.
I would never suggest that to somebody. Like our next step, I think we would like to do soft play.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So that would probably be something I would look into next, would be the soft play. It was between that or the tents, the little canopy things that people are doing that you can put balloons around. But So we got like the bubble tent, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's another thing that somebody can invest in. You know, by the time you buy that for $1,500-$1,600, we rent them out for $600.
Yeah.
You rent it out 2-3 times, you already got your
And
money
then it's
back.
like free money every time. Yeah.
Correct.
I learned that with my marquee numbers pretty quick. It was like, wait a minute, this is just like free and I don't have to make anything. I just have to bring it. Like, I understand the appeal of the rentals now.
Yes.
Storage is kind of the big
the thing. You have to make sure whatever you rent or whatever you buy, you have storage. And that's why I said I feel like backdrops are the easiest to store first.
Yeah.
Because then as you're growing, you can get a storage unit. And then that's what we did. We had 3 of those. And then we're like, oh my God, now what are we going to do? And now we're at a 4,000 square foot place.
Oh my gosh. So what's next? You said soft play. Are you just in a maintenance phase where you like to travel and be gone, or are you trying to grow?
No, I think I'm good where I'm at. I enjoy being able to, you know, do the things I want to do in life still with my family and my kids and my grandchildren. And
You have grandchildren?
yeah.
Shut up. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm older than I look. I know. But now I have children, so I want to be able to still be able to do those things and still have my employees enjoy what they're doing. So I don't want to overwork all of us and hate our jobs. So it's got to be where you enjoy going to work every day.
Absolutely.
So if that's what it takes and I'm content, I don't need to be in the next millionaire company.
Yeah, well,
I just want to be me.
I don't know. It sounds like you might be at this rate.
No, not even, but I'll take what I get, you know. And I'm not out there knocking down doors. You know, I'm not trying to take, in our area, there's so many other companies.
Oh, okay.
Where I'm good with, like, if I can't do it, I'm going to call them up and I'm going to give that to them. You know, I feel like friendly neighbor is the best neighbor. So if they're looking for balloons, they come to me. Because I do have an inventory, like I should be a distributor, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But I try to be friendly with everybody in our area.
That's great. Well, oh my gosh, congratulations on all your success. I can't believe how much you've built up in 3 years. That's like no time at all. That's crazy.
Yes, it has. It's been a joyful ride, and I'm going to keep going.
Oh, man. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. This has been great.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
Thanks for listening. As usual, I tried to keep it bright and light. Our presenting sponsor is 17 Hats, the CRM I use to cut the chaos and manage my entire balloon business. From the lead capture form on my website to workflows and email templates, invoicing and grab-and-go garland automated bookings, it's all powered by 17 Hats, the best customer relationship management system for balloon businesses. There's even a 50% off coupon code waiting for you in the show notes wherever you're listening. I'll see you next week in another episode.